folks, first, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. And I've got to say, if there's ever a show that represents Canada, this is definitely the one, because we've been waiting for a show like this for a long time. First, I have to ask you, how does it feel being part of the CBC family?
It feels surreal. I mean, it's a dream come true to be part of such a big platform. So thank you to CBC.
Now, for folks who don't realize what we're talking about, can you explain exactly what the show is called, which I love the title of it, and what it's about?
Yeah, so the BOLLYWED show is essentially a diverse cultural show. It's following the family here. My family sings. And essentially it's just following our parents who have established this business from the last 40 years. And it's an Indian bridal boutique located in Gerrard Street in Toronto. So it's got a little bit of pop of color, Bollywood fashion, the beautiful family over here, and everything in between.
So what I want your dad to do is I want him to speak in his native language. I'm going to ask you if you can translate it for us, if you can do that, please. Because I think this would be, because this is Canada. This is the way it's supposed to be done. So I want to ask your dad, what was it like coming here to Canada and be able to create not just a great business, but a beautiful family?
Thanks for CBC. CBC ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ CBC ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਚੋਂ ਚਾਂਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਇੱਕ ਔਰ ਇਸ ਬਾਲੀਵੁੱਡ ਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਔਰ CBC ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਂ CBC ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ.
Translation?
Yeah, so Dad is just expressing how much gratitude and thankful he is to CBC that we get to have the opportunity to have a show like this on a beautiful platform.
Now I'm going to ask your mom, correct? Yeah, I want to ask you though, when you were approached with this, what were your thoughts? Because, you know, you've seen shows out there, but this is different though. This is a different representation. And like I said, this is truly about the Canadian, honestly, this is the Canadian dream.
Well, if I say honestly, I wasn't ready to do that. But my children's dream, so I had to fulfill it.
So wait a minute, you guys convinced them to do this?
We totally did. It's not easy to get your parents to open up their life to be on national television for a docu-series where they're just following us with cameras and seeing sort of what happens, right? So it was a big ask. But, I've always wanted to create legacy for my dad. And, he left India with nothing but a few dollars in his pockets, the classic immigrant story. Worked at a furniture factory, building furniture and couches. Worked crazy amounts of overtime, scrounged and saved just a little bit enough to pay for rent for his first store. Got his dad back home, which also was an Indian clothing store, to send him some stuff and get started. And, here we are 40 years later. We're about to have our own TV show. It's super cool.
So what are we going to see in this series? Give us a little bit of tidbits of what we're going to see.
So in every episode, you will get to see a bride and groom selecting their bridal wear with us as a family. And in addition to that, it's not just about the fashion. It's not just about Bollywood. It's about our family overcoming struggles and challenges and sometimes butting heads and coming to a common ground and just always moving forward and expanding our business and our legacy, as Chandan says it.
When you talk about the business, though, because one of the things I remember seeing in the promo was the fact that you guys got a lot of stuff. Are we going to be seeing all of this
You're going to be seeing things packed to the brim. I mean, we've got blankets and fabrics and just blankets. Did I say blankets already?
Blankets, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be seeing a lot of, again, as Roop said, butting heads and that really just that generational gap of things got to go. No, they got to stay. So, I mean, all of us have a role to play in it, but it's Mr. Singh over here that we got to convince.
Yeah, no, and definitely do that. I'm going to go over to your mom very quickly, too, though. It's one thing to watch your family grow in your eyes. What is it like for you now to see your family on television, that we get to see them in their splendor, and in a lot of ways, they're going to be growing more in front of us on the television?
Yeah, it's... you know what it exactly feel like? Like you made something, now it's your time to cash it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have seen growing them, now it's time to taste the fruit of it. So I'm tasting the fruit of with my children, with my family. So I'm really happy.
I'm going to ask the both of you, though, what are you hoping that fans are going to get from this series?
We hope that they will really just cherish the amount of work, years of work that mom and dad have put into this business and what it takes to really be an entrepreneur as a newcomer into this country, and where you can start and where you can go if you just work hard enough and dream big enough.
Same thing?
Yeah, definitely got to have the big dream, and that was one of the things when we had thought of the show 7 years ago, got rejected by 22 different networks.
Whoa. You just brought something up big. You guys have been trying to do this for 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years we've been trying to do this, and I remember seeing Kim's Convenience for the first time, airing its first episode, and I was like, dude, there is a market for this. There is a market for real stories about South Asian families and immigrant families that come from other countries with nothing much, and they build a story and they live on top of it like we did. And then they hopefully succeed, and then they success, and you sort of see the next generation taking over. And there are other stories out there, and I really hope that those guys tune in especially, and they see the common threads, and it kind of all encourages us together as entrepreneurs to keep on striving for our dream and keep on achieving.
Never give up. Okay, I'm going to ask your dad for the last word and what he hopes that fans are going to get from seeing this beautiful family.
ਸਾਡੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਮਿਲੇਗੀ ਔਰ CBC ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ CBC ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ CBC ਨੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ.
And translation is?
Yeah, he's essentially expressing again that he's thankful to CBC, but I think the one thing that you can capture in this show is the fashion. And again, the gratitude that we have the opportunity to show the fashion, but what I think he really means is to show his own wardrobe fashion.
No, as Ric Flair says, styling and profiling right here in front of. He's got the white shoes too. You cannot beat that, folks. Thank you so much for this interview, but more importantly, thank you for bringing another part of Canadian heritage.
CBC, thanks, appreciate. Hundreds of Sikh community in our Canada only choose our family. Thank you for the CBC.
And we thank you also. Thank you so much, buddy.